All right, good to be done with the spring game, and have it unfold like you want to. I think back and forth, opportunity to see a lot of guys in a game like situation and see how they respond. It certainly was. There was enough back and forth that I think as a head coach you can walk away and feel good about our team, continue to move forward. I know that we're 3 months off now from where we will make that transition to fall camp, but I think we've been able to we should just lock the door. Breaking the action. But no, I think we were better off than we were 5 weeks ago. I know that. Much clearer direction of where individuals are at, and then ultimately to be able to reshape the depth chart probably a little bit, and then get a few guys healed up, and then get back to things. Actually, at the end of May, we get going the day after Memorial Day, and then we start fall camp in July this year because of playing week 0. So. Really pleased with the guys' efforts. I think we came out each of these 15 days and went after it. There was no lull whatsoever, and I think we're a better team as we stand here today compared to when we started at the end of March.
Seemed like that top offensive line for the blue versus the top defensive front for the white pretty even. So what do you think of that exchange?
Yeah, back and forth. I know we gave up some pressure at times, and again, you're sitting back there as a head coach. That's good for the defense, and not so good for the offense. That's going to be the way it is. Without Paul Brott, I know on the defensive side, and Paul will factor in big. And then, offensively, I think the continued emergence of Cole Sane returning, JT Reed returning, Burke Mastel continuing to make progress. I think both those groups we can look at and say, hey, this is where it starts for us on both sides of the football, and they'll continue to make each other better. The battles two guys like Marcus Weir and Brody Grebe have over the course of the time they're going against one another just makes those guys better. I think those are two of the better players in our league, if not our division. So it's good to start there. It's good to have some depth. I think we are building depth at the same time, and like where we're heading.
Obviously, get the ball in his hands pretty quick. Like his decision making today.
Yeah, I think standing back there, I think he did a pretty good job. There was a few times he maybe missed a few things, but ultimately he completed the ball pretty well. He made some I think really one side to the other side to the field throws, and that was impressive. He's in a yellow jersey, so he doesn't have the ability to take off, but I think he handled that pretty well at the same time. Really good touchdown pass to Hunter. To kind of cap his day off. So I think he continues to grow as a quarterback, and that's what this team needs. And it's with his arm certainly is the big piece that we need to keep moving forward.
Adam Jones looked good on both sides. What do you think of his ability to make some points?
Yeah, Adam's had a real good spring, and I think we felt good about what Adam was able to do in the fall. But now to see that forward, a really good winter, Adam's going to play a big role on this football team, and he is he's got bigger and stronger, but he can move at the same time, and he's got a real knack just to fall forward and finish runs in that physical manner. So really pleased with him. Colson Kuhn, he had probably the best second half of camp of almost anybody on this team. So like him, and that's in addition to Elijah and Jared behind Julius and Scottre. So that position group, we feel really fortunate.
In the second half, I guess it seemed like there's a bit more offensive rhythm.
Well, the score dictated for probably the white team, the second group, to throw it a little bit more. I think they did a good job. I think that white O-line, which is pretty young, did a better job probably in the second half versus the first. I think on the blue team, we probably made a few more plays down the field, but no, I think the first quarter went so fast. I know there was a couple clock issues where incomplete passes, that thing was still rolling. So I think we lost some time in that first quarter, and that was maybe part of it.
And then what did you see at Casey today?
Yeah, going out there and making the first three was certainly a positive. Having an opportunity again and getting that one blocked, we'll have to look at that, whether that was the ball not getting up, or we got inside push. But I think Casey had a solid spring. I really do. And he is capable. But it's just finding a level of consistency ultimately that we need come those Saturdays in the fall.
Are you still planning on those 3 kickers / punters you have? Are those 3 that you're sticking with? Is still open?
I think we're potentially open. We're gonna analyze where Brennan's at. I think Brennan has the capabilities of being the best punter at our division in the country, and we want him to be that. And he certainly, the way he kicks the ball off is a real weapon. And so looking at, should we just have him do those 2 things and maybe some long distance attempts? I think there's real that we got to go through that, and then I think analyze to say, is there a need to bring in some more competition? So I know not that we're going to have the answer next week, but I do think we need to have an answer before we get going in the fall. Yeah. Yeah, it became apparent to me that making a decision and putting that jersey, bestowing that honor on one guy, while we want to still do that, maybe we could do more. And we had 3 guys in this group, Montana natives, 2 O-linemen, and then Tommy, that we really wouldn't put. We can't put 41 on the O-lineman, and we wouldn't really want to put the 41 on Tommy. So you look at that group as a whole. I think they all bring things to the table that would be deserving. So just really tried to make it more about the whole group. Anytime a Montana native makes it all the way through our program, the impact that he has goes beyond what happens between the lines on Saturdays. So, this is a tradition that we, as long as I'm the head coach, will continue to do for those Montana seniors. And I think they all understand it's about one guy, but it's really about that group and how impactful that group has been, and certainly will be this next year.
What's that senior group? What do you sense kind of from their attitude, their expectations, just their general demeanor going into their final season of a really historic career so far?
Well, I think there's absolutely a sense of urgency, and the bigger that group is, with that sense of urgency, the better. We have 23 seniors, and I think each one of them, has been charged to have their very best year. And when you have a bigger number and those guys have the right mindset, the impact that can have on a team's success is probably one of the greatest factors a team can have. And their humility, and I think their willingness to be the leaders by example first is what this group is about. And we got a ways to go, but they're really going to be continue to be the tone setters as we go through summer. And I know this group does not want to take a single thing for granted, and they don't want to waste a single day. And that's what we've done to this point here, towards the end of April, and we need to continue to do as we go through the summer.
Some of the guys from the white offensive line, Samora, Cedric, Titan, you talked about a little bit about those guys earlier in the week. So they got some nice pushes on that touchdown drive. Did you guys see about from them and how they?
Yeah, the days like today when they can get the whole game and all those reps, it's probably the most reps they would have gotten on any particular scrimmage activity, and just having to have a drive like that and stay on the field and finish a drive and to feel what that feels like. I think that's something that is unique to today for spring ball. So you mentioned Samora, Titan, and Cedric. I think all those guys are that next wave of how our depth's going to shape out. We had 7 guys on that white or the blue team that have become fairly solidified, but ideally we have 8, 9, and even 10 guys that are certainly making the trips with us, but capable of playing. And I do feel like those 3 you mentioned have made good strides this spring, and the jump they're going to make this summer has to be significant, so that coming out in this fall they're going to be able to go after it.
On the play calling side, I just started with Tyler. What did you think about his just general play calling in this game, and then overall spring? How do you feel like he's?
Well, I look at it more from a spring perspective. Today in a spring game that's going to be televised, and you're going to play some things closer to the vest. I do know this. Our offense has been explosive. It's been creative. And we are still trying to strike a balance. And, I think Tyler's got, the thing going in the right direction as far as that. He's got the ability to be creative and sound all at the same time. And I think he knows, full well that, the balance that we're looking for is a work in progress. But, I've been pleased with, what we've been able to do in a short time with him as our coordinator.
Bobby on the other side, how has he thought of his progress?
Yeah, it's experimenting with some things as we go through spring. It's finding out who can we lean on, who are going to be our playmakers on defense. Where can we push the envelope, so to speak. And I think we've done a lot of things through spring to try to claim those answers out of spring, and then go back and really evaluate what it all looked like. And we're going to stay within the scheme that we have run, but I do think on Saturdays in the fall that will look a little different, and that'll take on the personality of Bobby and Sean collectively. And I'm excited about the progress we've made. Yeah, we really felt like Hunter flashed in the fall, did some really good things to earn some playing time. We were able to continue to, redshirt him at the same time. He's got the size, the speed, the ball skills, but he's, the weight room's really helped him now, and he's stronger. His ability to block has been something, and I know that's been addressed and improved. And he missed a chunk with an ankle injury, but to see him come back these last couple of days has been encouraging, and to see him make that play and he made a couple plays that I think shows what he can do.
And then, just one more. I don't know if you had an update on Scott Trey.
No, he had an ankle coming into today. We weren't going to give him a whole lot, and it just so happened the first play he got hit on the ankle, so he's fine. And he did some really good things to build off a great fall last season, and we look for big things from Scott Trey moving forward.
Just the other injured guys who did play, are all those hopeful to come be back by fall? Do you have any update on that?
Yeah, many of those guys that didn't get all of spring are very much in line to be going right now. Essentially, we held back on a few guys that will be, and we have a few that will be overlapping into the fall. I think that's the best way that I can put it right now. And by overlapping into our early start. But as we walk away from here, no one lost for the season or anything like that. But football is a physical game that needs to be practiced in such a way, and you every time you do that, spring or fall camp, there is an element of risk that we need to take to move forward, and we got to be smart about it. But my point is, some injuries are going to occur through that stretch, and I think we got out of spring in fairly good shape, and we need those guys that haven't been part of spring ball to keep their progress moving forward.